So the Phoenix is popping up a lot in my feed, and so I want to discuss that archetype with other people who are resonating with it. I think it resonates because it represents something necessary in the human experience, not just a trial to endure, but a process, something we can witness in ourselves, in others, in stories. Transformation, it's possible, it's meaningful. And probably if you're seeing this, you've undergone something like that. I recognize the Phoenix in my life, the burning away of masks, the examination of the subconscious, the stripping down to what's real. And I know in some ways it resonates for many of us at different points in our lives. The Phoenix teaches us that we come out changed, not to repeat, but to begin again, to build a pyre of our own choosing. Yet it's always a pyre. That's why the archetype matters. We need hope to enter the darkness again and again and again, even when we know everything's going to burn. The symbol goes back a long time. Ancient Egypt, the Bennu bird is tied to the cycles and floods, renewal. Greece shaped it into the firebird we recognize now that builds its own pyre, burns and rises again and again. Carl Jung made it explicitly an archetype, a pattern the psyche keeps generating to describe the collapse of one's own identity and the reorganization of self. I guess for me, the Phoenix has always been seductive. I sought clarity, I sought peace. I wanted to strip away what wasn't real about myself, but I couldn't really summon that fire. You can't really burn down your house while you believe it's really your house. Fire only comes when that structure isn't habitable anymore. It's not livable. But many people live without ever needing that kind of pyre or collapse concept. And so it begs the question, is that kind of suffering totally avoidable? Can we arrive at insight differently than a Phoenix process? That, now, is what resonates for me. It's not the fire itself, it's what it revealed. All of my relationships, I discovered they were shaped, they were broken, they were healed, and it all depended on whether I was fitting the archetypes that were expected of me. I never fit an archetype. I'm not a single archetype. I'm a continuously evolving, changing thing. The Phoenix resonated because it mirrored my own refusal to be contained. Every single mask that I burned, every persona that I shed, it wasn't just self-discovery, it was declaration. I'm fluid, I'm evolving. You can't pin me to a fixed archetype. And that felt like clarity. It feels like clarity. And that's why embodying the Phoenix can be super tricky. The danger isn't transformation itself, it's believing you now have special knowledge to share. That clarity can be shared, that your path, it can be replicated. That's ego, I think, as presumptive. It's probably narcissistic. The Phoenix is meant to pass through, illuminate, to heal, and to quietly dissipate. Trying to make it permanent or to make it prescriptive for another person just builds more pyres, new identities, probably more suffering. I think the real lesson is much simpler. It's that we need to always be setting little fires. We have to ask ourselves straightforward questions that illuminate our own paths. Notice when we're doing things we don't want to do or that we don't like, and ask ourselves, what is it we truly want and what's preventing us from doing that? Sometimes the answers are straightforward and you can make big changes easily. Sometimes the answers are nuanced and you have to start walking a slower path in the direction you want to go. But understanding what lights you up is what's really important. Small fires don't need to burn everything down. They allow you to tend to the life you actually want, to live aligned with your evolving self, to cultivate clarity without total annihilation. The Phoenix is a process, but as much as we identify with that process, it suggests one that never ends, and of course, that's something we're not really sure about. We don't know. But perhaps that's why it resonates, because it reflects some other truth. I am continuously changing, and the fire is my own. The pyre that I build right now is my pyre. That clarity, perhaps, is temporary, but impermanence is also freedom. Freedom allows us to keep asking and to keep tending and to keep building, to keep becoming. The Phoenix perhaps was never a destination. It was also part of a mirror, a process, a rhythm. And if you let it, it can teach you some essential truths that you are not fixed. You are evolving. You are fluid. You are alive.